reigning four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty, and the golden voice of Neil Rule. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
The walk-up was trashy, and then I'm not calling it trashy because I understand the history involved that was playing there. Like, the batter's box matters to me, but the facility wasn't as impressive as I was hoping it would be.
Well, that's kind of on brand when it comes to old-time baseball ballparks, but I enjoyed the history. I loved being there. I was in kind of the right field-ish area, kind of where the like kind of in right center, so it was pretty cool. I saw a home run hit over the monster by Jose Trevino of all people.
See, and maybe because I was there when it was raining, it was like the weather today, honestly. And, you know, you want to be at Fenway, but you're stuck inside and it's all cramped and it's drippy and it feels like you're in a tunnel. Just wasn't a great ballpark. Like, I get it, but you figured they'd maintain it over the years when it's like, no, let's just honor the history and let this thing patina. You know?
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
That's the vibe they're going for, though, with Fenway. They want it to be like that, and they want, like, there's an aura that just exudes off the building because it's so old, and that you don't truly get with the new ballparks. Yeah, the new ballparks are so new. They're awesome. Shout out Truist Field for Atlanta, my favorite ballpark. But Fenway just has, like, a feeling to it, like Wrigley, when you just walk in there, and everything's all, you know, speaking to you, and you can just feel the history that happened there.
Yeah, and to your point there, and Broder, for the record, he asked what were we talking about because we started with no sound. We were talking about my trip to Fenway Park and my vacation as a whole, and Stick kind of found it a little underwhelming, and I completely distree. Although I can understand to some extent what you were going for.
I just expected to walk in and feel like Field of Dreams, you know, like, like this is amazing. And I walk in and I'm like, it's a rundown ballpark. Like, a lot of cool stuff's happened here, but it's a rundown ballpark. So.
I mean, not trying to be this person, but we have to go to Comerica every time. And I'm not saying Comerica's bad, but Fenway ishes on Comerica Park, and so does Wrigley, for the record.
I can take a lap around Comerica Park.
You can.
I can't take a lap around Fenway. That was one of the biggest bothers to me, and it's the same way when you go to Chicago and go to where the White Sox play. Like, if you're in the outfield, you can only enter through. It's like you're banned from the rest of the stadium.
Right.
And when you go to a ballpark, part of the experience is getting out, walking around. That's why I love Comerica. We got the statues out there. Then you got K-Line Corner. Then you can head on up for a drink up top and take that catwalk all the way around. Like, that's what I like when I go to a ballpark, especially a new one, because I want to see every inch of this place.
Yes.
The fact that I'm stuck in right field and can't get to section 220 pisses me off.
And that's kind of a flavor thing. And for the record, Broder, and for everybody in there, I do love Comerica. I don't know. I'm a history nut, and that's why I love Fenway and Wrigley. And I've been to
Ordonez. You want to talk history?
No,
Comerica Park.
Hey, phenomenal history.
ALCS.
No,
Oakland A's.
Hey, no World Series championships though. I'm just saying that. But anywho, we've got KG in the sound booth today. How's it going today, my man?
Now that you got the sound working.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my fault.
You're the sound guy? Whose fault is it, sound guy?
It's not mine, so that's fine.
You blaming Spenny then?
Always blame me for stuff. I'm not blaming anybody.
Sound's going on because all of our cameras are out and the sound was off too. So I gotta try
sabotage. I'm telling you, it's sabotage.
This is
JB's.
It is true because my camera was frozen with juices in this booth. So
juices, what'd you bring back from Electric Force?
Son of a
screwing
bitch.
up the electricity in here.
I didn't even
Damn interns.
I didn't even go in there for like that long. I literally walked in there, didn't touch anything, and walked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, speaking of which, Electric Forest. Tell us all about it, man.
Oh, it was epic. I had such a blast. Shout out my Forest fam. We had an amazing time. It sucked though. It rained all Saturday, so most of the day got canceled. But I still got to see one of my favorite artists, Subtronics, and Enzo on Sunday was absolutely crazy good. So if you
but you didn't go see Ludacris.
I did not go.
What type
Dog,
of
we already talked about this. I was at a damn funeral.
No, it wasn't on Saturday.
It was on Friday.
I'm gonna find out.
And if it was on Saturday, it got rained out.
If Ludacris was on Saturday, you should have gone to see Ludacris.
All right, old head.
Right. He ain't hip.
Old
man.
head. All right.
He ain't hip.
Don't
man.
appreciate history.
I appreciate history. We were talking about Battle of the Sexes before the show. That's a good ass album.
We talking about real Ludacris, man.
that's-
Chicken and beer Ludacris.
Right.
Real Ludacris. I'm KG.
Southern hospitality, you know.
Ludacris is the only good artist at the whole event.
Yeah, that's the only one that sold tickets. The only one that sold tickets was
right.
Ludacris.
No,
That's
definitely
like
not.
Camping to see Ludacris.
I bet Ludacris had one of the least filled crowds of the weekend out of the headliners.
Everybody else just presses play on their iPad.
Yeah,
There you go.
pretty much.
You know, I don't. subscribe
Spenny
to
is a
that.
D1 EDM hater. It is actually crazy.
Gen Z
Damn
shit,
right I
man.
am.
You were listening to kind of an EDM song the other day, Spenny, when you came in here. What was that song?
No, that's not an
yesterday.
EDM song.
That's like
that's
pop.
that's like K-pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A hopeless romance.
Ooh, I like K-pop and not EDM. I'm
Get us
Spenny.
back on track,
I
Flannel.
mean, K-pop
All
is
right.
more popular.
All right, fair enough. Before we get
K-pop blows.
all right.
Oh darn! I don't like K-pop either. I like Asian bitches though.
Hey, shout out to the Asians.
Overrated. Anywho.
Oh.
Anywho. On that note,
This show is off to a great start.
Korean Jesus. Because I know we're going to talk in other segments about Connor McDavid and Game 7 and the legacy and all of that. I want to ask you, what went right for the Florida Panthers and why were they able to pull off Game 7 despite enormous pressure and with a possibility of blowing a 3-0 lead? What were they able to do last night in order to beat the Edmonton Oilers?
They went back to the roots and what worked in game 1 through 3. They really focused on limiting the Oilers in transition, putting the body on them, and just being absolutely relentless on the forecheck because they can't score if you're in their zone. And they had a lot of zone time. And where the true mistake was the coaching. The Oilers made some very big coaching miscues in the third period where they didn't rest McDavid at all. They played him for almost 6 minutes straight in the last 6 minutes with no rest beforehand. If they were going to do that, they needed to sit him for 2 or 3 minutes to let him get his legs under him because you could tell in those last couple of shifts, McDavid and Draisaitl were missing passes, were not skating very hard. When is the
He wound up on his knees with like 30, 40 seconds left.
Well, speaking of
dude
being
was
on their
just
knees,
tired.
that Tkachuk penalty was horrendous, where he just like fell and they called a penalty on him, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then Bob played amazing. They blocked a shit ton of shots, is what they need to do. Also, McDavid, nice goal on the doorstep when Borowski owned your ass 3 minutes to go. That's tough. Also, he shouldn't have won the Conn Smythe.
Yes,
we'll,
he
we'll
should.
get in that.
We'll get into that.
Nope.
Yes, he
All
should
right.
have.
Well, we'll talk about that. You're a loser then.
Okay, we'll talk about that later because we've got a whole
That's a
segment to
loser's
talk-
mentality.
That is
you
not a
lose the damn final and you still get the Conn Smythe?
There's precedent to it. There's plenty of precedent.
Isn't the Conn Smythe the MVP of the entire playoffs?
Yep.
All right, well, yeah. So you can lose and still get it, right?
It's still a loser's mentality.
That's a hockey thing.
It's a loser's mentality.
That's a hockey thing. That's not a Flannel Sam thing.
Well, he thinks he should have won it, so I think that's a losing mentality.
Yeah.
I mean,
he didn't even come accept the damn award.
Take it up with Gary Bettman.
Hey, but if he would have came,
Bettman's a goon.
You know what? If he would have came and accepted the award, the same people like you, the same people like the away fan, yes, I heard you in the chat, would have been saying, oh my God, all he cares about is individual glory. Yes, you would have. Yes, you would have.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't, because I have a huge amount of respect for Connor McDavid. And he should have went out there. That is arguably the most prestigious award in hockey to win as an individual player, and you don't even go out there and accept it. That's absolutely wild.
No, because he cares about winning. He's a loser, right? He's a loser.
Yeah, he lost.
I mean, fine. He took that Edmonton team to the Stanley Cup Finals and had the third player in NHL history to have a 40-point postseason. But he's a bum. That's
and he
fine.
had 0 points in Game 6 and Game 7.
That's fair. That is a fair criticism.
Which is why he shouldn't have won the Conn Smythe.
But
so the Conn Smythe's only for Game 6 and Game 7?
Nope.
Okay.
But you still have to show up in the biggest moments. Bobrovsky showed up with 3 minutes to go and he had the puck on the doorstep in a wide open net and he stoned his ass.
Bobrovsky also, he pooped the bed in games 4 through 6.
All right. Well, McDavid did it in 6 and 5. So you could say it goes both ways.
I'm just happy that it was a decent hockey game to watch.
It was entertaining.
It was an amazing Game 7.
Both the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs have been a snooze fest to me. So to be able to be engaged last night and watch some good hockey, a battle of styles, and once the defensive team gets up by a goal, it's going to be a lot harder to come back against them than it would have been to come back against the Oilers. And all they did, I mean, if you listen to the post-game press conference and the post-game interview, which, by the way, Scott Van Pelt did probably the best post-game interview with a coach I've ever seen. I threw it up on my Twitter if you guys want to go see it. But he asked great questions. And the guy was joking. He's like, yeah, we iced the puck about 100 times. Like, that was the strategy in the third period. And you know what? When you're a defensive-based team, who cares? Just keep throwing it down the ice. All right, come work for it. Throwing it down the ice. All right, come work for it. And I like that because the Oilers were supposed to be the finesse team, able to break down the defense, to have Connor McDavid who's slicing through people. And defense beat offense. And I'm a defensive guy. I think it wins championships, and it proved once again that theory to be correct. And you like what the Panthers did. They talked about it a lot during the broadcast, too. Panthers had a solid team 2 years ago, but they're like, we can't win a championship with this team. We can win during the regular season, but we're never going to be able to win a championship. So they restructured, came back as a defensive team. So my hat's off to them. I'm not the biggest hockey guy in the world, but I love that storyline. And I love that they were able to put the punctuation on it after almost giving it up. It was intriguing to a fringe hockey fan to actually be involved in this game and actually care about the outcome. Not caring who wins, but just caring about the game, period. So I thought it was a great game last night and a great night for the NHL.
Well, Stick, you hit the nail on the head with the Panthers. When they had Huberdeau 2 years ago, they were a finesse team. They won the President's Trophy. They were front runners. And they were unable to win in the playoffs. And it's truly amazing to see them go after trade a guy who had 116 points for them for Matthew Tkachuk, who had lower point production, but it's the right move for their team. Hockey's a big sport where stats lie. Stats can lie.
Oh, don't say that to Flannel Sam.
And
no, but it goes to the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes effect, too. It's about finding the guys that fit your system. They don't always have to be the premier guys. They got to be the right guys. It goes back to the 04 Pistons. It's got to be the right guys in the right system at the right time, and they found the magic touch.
And the vets that they added between Kyle Okposo and Ekman Larson absolutely made this team what it was. Those moves later in the season propelled this team to that Stanley Cup.
I mean, 100%. They choked the life out of Edmonton in that game. And one thing that I said before the series even started is I picked Edmonton. I obviously wanted Edmonton, but Florida was kind of built to be able to withstand a team like Edmonton, who was so great, but also very, very top heavy. And I mean, we saw it in Game 7. Florida out-hit Edmonton 37-24. That's kind of all you really need to know about that game. And, of course, Bobrovsky played better than Skinner. And during that game-winning goal by Sam Reinhart, nobody stopped the puck. But even so, Skinner should have made that save, but he didn't. Into kind of
because he's a sieve.
Hey, he has been at times.
So here's the question: where are the Red Wings sitting right now in this crux of leaning defense or leaning offense?
Ooh. Right now we're leaning offense, but we need to start leaning defense. We need to the couple guys I love in the draft are really, really good defensemen, and then they also need to either wait for Augustine. But right now there's a lot of buzz on them moving for a goalie right now. There's 2 goalies that are on the trade market at the moment that they're looking to go
get them. That's all you need. That's all you need in hockey, man. If you have a good goalie, you are ahead of 90% of the teams, and that's it. And it's a deciding factor in the playoffs. It's a deciding factor for your entire season. Goalie, to me, is first and foremost the position you need to address in hockey. Nothing else matters unless you have a good goalie.
Hey, but I keep getting told by the people who usually do this show that Alex Lyon and Ville Husso are good. But anywho, let's we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit more about Game 7 and how it relates to Connor McDavid in history, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Florida Panthers. But first, I have to tell you about Guardian Alarm. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local
Connor McDavid, stay out of championships.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, known for their crispy, delicious chicken tenders, the sandwich,
the other day,
and their New York style pizza.
And the biscuits.
Really good, the biscuits. Oh, chef's kiss.
The biscuits.
You want to know where to get some? Just go to Sorokis.com. You can find any of the locations near you. It's Soroki's. Go eat some chicken.
Hey, welcome back to Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam, filling in for Darren McCarty. We have Sam Stick Day to my right, filling in for Neil Rule. And I'm sure this is a conversation we're about to have that will, I'm curious to see what Korean Jesus has to say. I kind of think I know where he's going, and I kind of think I know where Spenmo Rax is going. The question is, did this Game 7, and you could even put that in conjunction with Game 6, in which Connor McDavid did go scoreless in the last couple of games. Although they were able to win Game 6, they lost Game 7 even though they only gave up 2 goals, which you would have taken if you were an Edmonton fan. But they still took the L, even though Connor McDavid had a phenomenal postseason. Those last 2 games, if you're a generational superstar, not necessarily ideal. So I'm going to start with you, Spenmo Rax. Did Game 7 last night hurt Connor McDavid's legacy?
Yeah, I think it did. I mean, you look at it, and you're in one game to win the Stanley Cup. You're the best player in the league. You got to go out there and will your team to victory. You got to go out there and make some things happen. You at least got to get on the board. You at least got to get a point in there. And I mean, credit to Florida. They shut him down, and they shut the inside of that offensive zone for Edmonton down, and they were trying to push everything to the outside, push everything to circling around, and that was pretty evident. But it's on McDavid. Obviously the 8 points in 2 games is not something that many people can do. It's only something that people can dream of doing, and he went out there and did it. But no, this is the most important game of your life. You got to go out there and you have to win it if you're the best player in the world.
Yeah, it's so tough because and we're going to get into this discussion as well. I do believe that Connor McDavid still did deserve the Conn Smythe just because of the 40-point postseason and the fact that nobody on Florida really stood out to overtake him, in my opinion. But both things can be true. Going scoreless in Game 6 and 7, particularly Game 7, is just not really ideal, especially when Connor McDavid was outshot by Warren Foegele and Matthias Ekholm.
Yeah.
That's can't happen. He might get back and learn, but that can't happen. Korean Jesus. Did this Game 7 hurt Connor McDavid's legacy?
100%. I mean, if you don't win, your legacy is hurt. And I was actually arguing with Katz this morning on the morning show because he was trying to tell me that you don't remember players who don't win a Stanley Cup. Well, my argument for that is McDavid's the most skilled player of all time. And most skilled, not best. So keep your ears clear so you hear me correctly. But it will hurt his legacy in the all-time rankings. He has to win a cup at some point. He obviously already has a Conn Smythe, so that does help a little bit. But the losing and going pointless in the last 2 games of a series, I can confidently say I doubt Gretzky would be doing that.
And I got to be honest, because yesterday I made a declaration on the show that I believed.
Oh, yeah, they've been telling me about it. They've been waiting for me to talk to you about it.
Even though they hadn't won yet, given the fact that Connor McDavid was the 3rd player in NHL history to have a 40-point postseason, the other 2 are Gretzky and Lemieux, the best 2 players ever, I thought that regardless of what happened last night, that Connor McDavid had passed Joe Sakic and Steve Yzerman in the all-time rankings. However, when you get to a Game 7, and believe it or not, there isn't a ton of precedent for Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals in which there was like a generational player who had a great game to win the Conn Smythe. The last one you can look back to was 2001 with Patrick Waugh, in which he saved 25 of 26 shots to win the Stanley Cup for the Colorado Avalanche. You don't see, hey, three-time Conn Smythe winner. But anywho, my point is that
owns him.
At times. The thing is that
always
when you get to a Game 7, you really can throw out just about everything else for that one game. It doesn't mean that Connor McDavid, what he did in the rest of the postseason, was irrelevant. And we also have to talk about Leon Draisaitl going goalless in the whole Stanley Cup Finals as well, but nobody's going to talk about that because
that was choke for sure.
He was the second best player. But yeah.
Bring him to Detroit, though.
I can no longer confidently say that Connor McDavid has definitively passed Steve Yzerman on the all-time list. I will say that because he did go pointless in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and a golden opportunity to cement himself as potentially a top 3 to 5 player of all time, and it just didn't happen.
How do you compare him to Crosby?
Can I be the voice of reason here?
Go ahead, Steve.
Can I get on my old man stuff real quick?
Yeah.
Talk to the youngins. Can I talk to the youngins?
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
It makes a difference in the immediate. It will mean nothing in 5 years if he wins 4 cups moving forward. It will mean nothing in 10 years if he has 3 cups. It's your immediate reaction is what you guys, I believe the kids call it in their feels. Mm-hmm. You kids are in your feels right now. So it may affect what you think of him today, but he has so much more time in his career to even decide whether or not his legacy is going to be
right.
Losing if he loses 1 Game 7 and goes on to win 5 cups, you're going to say that Game 7 hampers his legacy?
Well, both things can be true.
No.
Because his legacy is hurt right now, and that's what we're talking about.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Now. In the immediate, to your feelings, it is, but in the long term, it's not at all.
Well, that's why when I was talking to people in chat earlier about the Yzerman thing, but that Flannel brought up, I can't put McDavid over Yzerman right now. I can't do that. Yzerman won cups. He has a Conn Smythe. His legacy is overall better. Am I saying that will be true for the entirety of McDavid's career?
McDavid's got a Conn Smythe.
Who does?
McDavid's got a Conn Smythe.
Yeah, I know. I was saying that I can't put Yzerman below him because Yzerman has multiple cups. He's led them there. He's a captain. I just don't think McDavid is at that level yet. But would you put? And I wouldn't put him above Crosby either.
I wouldn't put him above Crosby.
Crosby's had 3 cups. He's won an MVP. Crosby deserves to be above him for the near future. McDavid's got to win 1 cup to pass people who have cups, in my opinion.
And when he does, But the sad part is...
Well, they got to build their team right. Their team isn't built right.
I was just about to say, if and when he does, obviously, he passes everybody. I think last night, especially if he would have had a dominant performance, top 3 to 5 all time. And I am confident with that. But it's just... In NHL hockey, especially with this Edmonton team, in terms of its flawed depth and defense, you don't know if they're coming back. That's the thing about it.
That's with any sport.
But hockey's a little bit different.
No, it's not. It's with any sport. It's hard to repeat. It's hard to get back there. And the losing team normally doesn't get back there because it's that hard to rebuild and reload and try to get up again for the next season. And it's impossibly hard in every major sport. That's why you don't see back-to-back champions often.
Right. But at the same, and for the record, all that I just said about how it slightly hurt McDavid's legacy, he's still, I think, top 10 of all time, just maybe at the lower end of the top 10. And that doesn't diminish this 40-point postseason. That's absolutely phenomenal.
See, I have a rough time just using the term legacy right now. Like, he's still a young player, so he's still in the prime of his career.
I understand that, but let me throw this out.
So saying legacy is just really, he's not top 10 all time. Well, let's wait till his career's over so we can.
Top 10.
Okay, but so he is top 10, even in your opinion, but he's not top 3. We gotta wait till his career's over, unless you're judging his 6 or however many years he's been in the league against other people's first 6 years in the league. Because that's the parallel comparison to the top 10s, to the Gretzkys, to the Yzermans. That's the parallel comparison, not the entirety of their career.
He's been in the league for 8 years.
Okay, 8 years. So compare the first 8 years of the great players to him, not the entirety of their career. That's just an unfair comparison.
No, it is. And Joel said something here. Let me find it. How does it hurt him? He won the MVP losing. It hurts because let's say this was LeBron. Anytime LeBron laid a goose egg in his career and played a bad game, he would get ripped apart by anyone and everyone. Oh, MJ's better. MJ's better.
MJ is better.
I agree. MJ's better than LeBron.
Not what everybody wants him to be.
Everyone will slander the shit out of LeBron. Why does McDavid not allow to get that same energy?
Here's the deal. When it happened the first time to LeBron, when he was with Cleveland, went to the finals and got swept, everybody gave LeBron a pass on that, right? Didn't they?
Yes.
But now, the fact that we can look back on his career and know that dude has a losing record in the finals, you can say he didn't get it done in the finals. So you can say those things. But in the moment, the first time, you can't say those things yet.
The only one I hold against LeBron is the Mavericks.
Yes.
That's the only one I hold against. The first one, young team, his best teammates were Mo Williams and Big Z.
Junior Zagowski.
You know, the other one was
McDavid had Draisaitl.
The other one that he lost to against the Warriors was with Kyrie and Kevin Love being hurt going up against a super team. So the only one that I actually hold against LeBron is the one where he choked against the Mavericks.
He absolutely choked. And even in 2007, where they had no business being there, he wasn't good in those finals. Yeah. But he was also getting the life choked out of him by San Antonio at a very, very young age.
Prime
he was
San Antonio.
Prime San Antonio with prime. I don't even know if it was prime Duncan.
Right, but we're using terms like legacy, and now we can look back on LeBron's legacy, and no matter what you want to give him credit for, the record is the record, right?
But
and no matter how you want to splice it, how you want to explain it, how you want to excuse it, how you want to credit somebody else, because I could do the same thing. Well, then his championships don't count because Kyrie hit the big shot. In LA, he couldn't do a damn thing until he got AD. There's
I don't know about that.
So I could play that game too. If LeBron we can discredit losses, we can discredit wins. You guys got to play the same way, and this is the problem I have with you. And this is the problem I have with Flannel Sam. He wants to cut the pie to fit his narrative. Oh, well, I can explain losses. Okay, well, I can excuse wins too and give credit to other people. So if none of the credit goes to him when he loses, except for one loss, then and all the credit goes when he wins, you're not operating in the same brain space.
It's not all of the credit. My point with LeBron, and I knew we would get on this because it's me and Sam Stick Day. In 2014, let me just give you this. LeBron averages 28, 8, and 4 on ridiculous efficiency, but Wade and Bosch combined to average 29 points per game, and the Spurs shoot 47%.
Who ran to who, Sam? Who ran to who?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Who ran to who?
Oh, yeah.
Did Wade come running to LeBron begging for a championship, or did LeBron come begging to Wade?
Cleveland.
Because didn't Wade already have a championship ring?
Is there anybody that could have, in the NBA history, that could have won a championship with those Cleveland rosters? The answer is absolutely not.
There's your excuse. Okay.
It's not an excuse. It's what happened.
Yeah.
It is what happened.
It must be nice if you're
win.
Michael Jordan to be drafted Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant and be able to have the GM pick up like Kukoc and Dennis
I don't know.
Rodman.
Not as nice as joining 3 top 5 picks after one has already led a team to a champion. I think that's pretty nice if you ask me.
Okay.
And then say you're going to win not
How did
1,
this
not
turn
2,
into
not
this?
3, not 4. And then you kind of fail on that, so you lied to that while going to a kid's place and telling all the kids in Cleveland to F themselves. And then you just keep trampling coaches, getting them fired. And then just like, sorry, the LeBron thing, the love fest y'all have for LeBron, I don't get it. I don't get it. He's the Aaron Rodgers of the NBA.
No,
Except
hell
with
no. That's
four finals
disrespectful.
MVPs. Come on.
Disrespectful.
And look, Sam, to go back to the hockey stuff, I'm going to group you in with the national media on their knees for McDavid, because Cryptic says this in chat, and it just blows your point up about Yzerman. Yzerman had a 155-point season by year 6, adjusted his game to team concept that year after, won the cup. How many 155-point seasons does McDavid have?
I don't think he has any. And
Well,
for the
there you
record,
go.
hey, what did I say? What did I say at the beginning after watching that Game 7 that I no longer believe that McDavid is over Yzerman? I said it. I said it. Just for the record. But anywho, yes, you know what else I say all the time? How I'm going to go to Lady Jane's and get an amazing haircut.
You
I
damn
probably
right.
would right
Shout
now.
out.
Come watch Beth stand on a washer.
Oh, wait.
That is what she is doing currently right now.
Okay.
Anywho, Lady Jane's
All right.
haircuts for men. You can walk in anytime, get a precision haircut.
Better than Sam on the table.
I don't know about that. Although I think that's
I know.
how-
I do.
Yeah, right. I know.
Yeah, I know about that.
that's fair that you guys are saying that. And I can't. Anywho, Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walks open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had to spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Hey, I got Feldman. All right.
Yeah.
Feldman Chevrolet. We're going to be out there. I got to send that schedule out to you guys, by the way. We're going to be out at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi coming up on a Wednesday. So come out and see Darren McCarty, see Neil Rule, see the entire Woo crew, as they're called now, with Wake Up Woodward. Feldman Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer. That's where you got your car, right, Flannel
is,
Sam?
absolutely.
So go be like Flannel Sam in buying cars, not in sports opinion. Feldman Chevrolet.
Be like me in sports opinion as well, and not like Sam Stick Day. Anywho, back to Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network.
Got him.
I know. You got me too.
I know you are, but what am I?
You got me. I'm crying. I'm shaking. Shiver me timbers. Anywho, back to
You and the
Big D Energy.
LeBronettes are all up
The
in arms. You got your
LeBronettes.
panties in a bunch.
Hey, it's all right.
The LeBron.
Every single LeBron fan is right, and
Every single LeBron fan is
and
right.
irrational LeBron
Yeah, that sounds
haters
rational.
are the most psychopathic idiots
Flannel.
on the planet. I'm just
Detroit
saying.
Supremacy, $5 super chat. He says Flannel will never acknowledge La 3-6-1 getting
my
locked
God.
up by JJ Barea in 2011. He's not top 20 in my book.
That's not
JJ
even what happened.
Barea.
And by the way,
Right.
if you're one of those people that discredits the bubble championship, you are the dumbest person I interact with. If it was so easy,
you're still giving him credit for the mid-season tournament championship.
I'm not giving him credit for that.
Like you're having that on his. Well, they won the in-season tournament.
Hey, motherfucker!
Hey,
great,
motherfucker!
Jordan doesn't have an in-season
when
tournament.
Did I say that? I didn't say that. You can never go back to any.
It's like that meme with LeBron as a kid holding up a pink elephant. Like LeBron, 1 pink elephant, Jordan 0.
You can never.
These are the facts.
Hey, you can never find footage of me celebrating that in-season tournament.
Oh, you were in here popping champagne, telling me how good Anthony Davis was. The Lakers were back.
Wah, wah. He is an AD slappy. I'll give him that.
Dude,
first bout Hall of Famer, and that's okay.
That LeBron couldn't win without, then, right?
Hey,
so which way is it? Which way you want to get it?
Couldn't win without him.
Hey, which way you want to have it, Sam? Which way you want to have it?
Hey,
who helped too?
Motherfucker.
Who helped too?
Motherfucker. Who can win without a second star in NBA history? MJ couldn't. Magic couldn't. Bird couldn't.
Motherfucker.
So who helped who?
Shaq.
Why couldn't LeBron win with a different person before he got there?
Well, because
or why couldn't AD win without LeBron?
Well, yeah, because
who helped who?
AD helped LeBron because AD's not a number one.
So I thought if LeBron's the GOAT, why did he need AD?
Because
which way you want to get it today, Sam? You can't win this.
Yes,
now.
I can. I win everything, bro. That team had like young Lonzo Ball, young Brandon Ingram. It was this young.
He got AD over here, LeBron over here, and he's trying to get both at the same time, but he can't.
I win, you lose.
I win everything.
I win everything.
Motherfucker
Jones.
There is. I win.
I knew this show was gonna be off the rails.
Hot mom over there.
Hey, shout out.
Anywho, speaking of NBA basketball, Isaiah Stewart. Let's talk about Isaiah Stewart to kind of get back on the rails a little bit.
All right.
There's rumors that the Pistons are evaluating the market for Isaiah Stewart. And I'm going to go to you first, Sam Stick Day. Mm-hmm. Is Isaiah Stewart somebody that the Pistons should keep or look to trade?
I don't care. There's nobody on this team that I wouldn't be looking.
There, right?
As
long as Jay Knivey on the team, you don't give a fuck. Huh?
I love Jay Knivey, and that's no joke. But to go back to what was it, Joe Dumars' days, there are no sacred cows on this team. When you set the franchise record for losses, everybody can get it. Everybody can go because y'all contributed. I don't care what excuse you give to your favorite player on how they contributed and what they didn't do, what they did do. It doesn't matter. Everybody on this team is disposable at some level. Now, do you want different returns for certain players? Of course. But Beef Stew, love you. Tried you, didn't work, gotta go. I'm sorry. And whatever we can get in return for him, I'm happy for. Loved his attitude when he got here. I thought he was going to be a poor man's Ben Wallace. He turned out being Jason Maxiel.
Okay, that's a little aggressive.
Yeah, it's about the same.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
A little bit.
Isaiah Stewart shot 38% from 3 this past year.
Jason Maxiel couldn't do that in sleep.
Okay, that's fine, but he
actually... because Jason Maxiel didn't try to expand his game and go beyond the three-point line, which is where you were not needed.
He is needed there.
He is not needed there.
Yes, he is.
In today's NBA, he's needed there.
The Pistons... If you say that the Pistons don't need a shooter, then you don't know ball.
No, the Pistons need a shooter. They don't need it from Isaiah Stewart. That's the difference. They need a shooter.
Stretch
they
need
lots of shooters. They could use 12 shooters on this team.
They need a stretch
because they don't have one shooter on this team.
Yeah, but if he's going to be there, he can at least use that as a benefit. And oh, by the way, he's not a bad defender.
I don't need Isaiah Stewart shooting threes. I don't need that.
Okay,
I don't need that.
I'm almost more bullish about keeping him than Jalen Duren. A lot of people aren't going to like
that's fine. You could be bullish about keeping anybody. I'm just telling you, all of them can go. Because all of them were here for the worst season ever. Like, look back on the Tigers when they had 119 losses. Who did they hold on to make it to the World Series? Was it Don Kelly was the only holdover?
The GOAT.
Right. So what about the 0-16 Lions? Who was the holdover when they finally went to the playoffs?
Dan Campbell. No, I'm talking shit.
Nobody. I'm
shit.
sorry, man. This team was rotten this year, and you got to gut it. And so if you get a good trade offer for anybody, I don't give a damn if it's the water boy. We're taking it.
No, and that's fair. If you can get a good return for Isaiah Stewart, I'm not an idiot. Of course you take it. I'm not married to Isaiah Stewart being here. I'm just saying that he's one of the few people who last year actually shot pretty well from 3. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, it's a completely fair take to just say that nobody on this team is like inexpendable. I think Cade is personally. I know you disagree, but pretty much anybody else.
No, I think Cade is your biggest bargaining chip. That's why I think he's expendable, because you're going to get the most return for him.
Well, that's
Jaden Ivey is our future leader. So
and that's fine with me, because I've seen Ivey start as a rookie and the team had better numbers win percentage wise than they did this past year. And you guys, whatever you want to say about he had better players around him and whatever excuse you need to give Cade for him leading this team this year, but Ivey is fine with me. Cade is worth more on the market. You can get more in return. So you go use your biggest bargaining chip to get the most you can to start this rebuild over again.
What's up?
Uh-oh. Not this shit again. Why is trading Cade like such a vendetta for you?
It's not a vendetta. It's the smartest thing to do. When you have an asset and he's really your only major asset and the rest of your team can't get you a return, you trade that asset for multiple assets to hope to build your team. It's happened with Jerry Stackhouse here. It's happened with Grant Hill in Detroit. Once again, you're young. You don't know this stuff. Go back and learn your Detroit sports history. Go back and learn your Pistons history and see how they've built teams in the past. This is how they've done it. They traded Jerry Stackhouse. They got a Rip Hamilton. They traded Grant Hill. They got Chucky Atkins and Ben Wallace. Those were the best players on those teams at the time. And when they traded Stackhouse, I didn't believe it. I thought it was stupid too. But seeing the result of using your biggest asset to get multiple decent pieces in return to help fill your roster, if you get two shooters that are elite shooters for a Cade and a couple first-round picks, I'm not turning that down, because I know you may not want to hear this, KG, but I have Ivey, who is a ball handler, who can distribute to those shooters as well.
Our future franchise.
Yeah, or just keep handing it to Cade and let him turn it over league leader.
Now, here it comes. That's not a real coming out.
That's not the real. That's stats, man. You just
don't like Cade.
Well, his usage rate is
I love
Cade.
I want Cade. I wanted him at number one. I want Cade to succeed, but he hasn't. And the fact that you guys think he has is mind-blowing.
But Ivey has?
Right.
Are you fucking kidding
talking
me?
about a 23 per game guy.
Guys, listen.
But Ivey has. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said on the show. Ever. If you think Cade hasn't succeeded, but Ivey has, that's idiotic. And I love
Ivey has shown me as much leadership and as much win potential as Cade has.
And you talk about this trade value we would get back on Cade. What trade value would you get back on Ivey?
Nothing.
Not as
a
much.
bag of potatoes.
And that's why you need
an expiring contract as well.
And that's why having 3 to 4 players is better than having 1 5 and the rest 2s.
Or
this is what I'm trying. It's about building a team. It's just what we were talking about earlier with Kachuk. He's not the most talented guy, but you know what he does? He fits the system. He's part of what they needed going forward. So you guys can concentrate on who's better.
Cade.
I'm talking about who can help us win. I want wins. You guys want flash. That's
want
fine.
wins.
Hey.
You didn't get them.
You didn't get it with Ivey either.
You got more than you did with Cade.
Oh, we talking 10
but
wins?
there were better players around Ivey at that point.
Hey, you got more from Cade in his rookie season. Oh, by the way, in that rookie season in which he was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting, Jeremy Grant missed 35 games. Did you know that? You probably didn't, but you now know that. That's why I'm here.
Oh, I didn't watch basketball? What are you talking about, Flannel Sam? Just because you can read that some dude was out for 35 games doesn't mean nobody else was witness to those stats.
What are you
I've watched the game. I've watched this team. I've understood. I've watched Ivey. I understand what he is, and I'm comfortable with him leading the team if we get better assets for Cade.
Well, I'm not. I'm not.
Clearly,
if you want to,
you don't know ball.
If you want to trade Cade Cunningham and get whatever assets and pair them with Ausar, Jalen Duren, and Jaden Ivey, good luck. Good luck sinking your franchise.
It can't go lower than it is with Cade. Like, how can you?
We have cap space, so we can improve this team.
How can you sink below franchise low? How? Just tell me. Tell me, Sam. How do you get better with the same?
you're going to get more. You're going to make moves in the offseason.
Exactly.
You're going to make moves.
And Jaden Ivey going to be one of the moves probably.
And that's fine with me if they get a good return because I'm not married to some dude like you guys are. Like, oh, Cade's the only way that the Pistons will ever be successful.
Throwing away a 23 a point game guy is crazy. We need a
23
1A on this
points
team.
on a
You
losing.
need a
Ricky
guy.
Davis got triple doubles when he played for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cade's only played 2 years.
No, but I'm saying stats on a bad team mean nothing.
Jaden Ivey had stats on a bad
Sam
team.
throw his papers, bro.
And he was
he had better stats, less turnovers as a point guard.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He did not. He had 5 fucking assists per game. That's nothing.
He didn't have less turnovers, Sam.
So what?
Turnovers that's normal, man. Russell Westbrook averaged like 10 turnovers a year.
And how many championships did he get?
It don't matter. He's a dynamic player or was a dynamic player.
I love Russell Westbrook, but let's not talk about him being like the apex of point guards.
I'm just saying turnovers ain't the biggest stat to be complaining about. It's not.
When that's my point guard,
just remember James Harden. I can go down the list
how
of
many
star
ships
players
does Harden
that have
have?
a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, and tell me how many championships they have.
Hey, just remember, Stick, in the first 3 wins of the 2023 season, Cade played. In 2 of the games, he outscored Jaden Ivey. In 1 of the games, he scored 1 point less, but had 6 more assists.
Are we really going off a 3-game sample size? Not a whole season.
You going off a season?
In 3
one season that Cade didn't even play.
So that's 3 games that Jaden Ivey didn't win by himself automatically. 3 other games where Jaden Ivey scored single-digit points, and in those games averaged 4 assists per game. 5 of those games, your leading scorer was Sadiq Bey, who Cade Cunningham did not have this year. He had James Wiseman instead. All I'm saying is there's a ton of context. And it's people like you who just say, oh, count the wins, count the wins.
Yeah, because wins don't matter.
Hey, but
why do we play the game?
Hey,
we play to win the game.
Hey, but also
we don't play for your little stupid. Well, he put up 28 points per game on a team that won 10 games.
You're also arguing 10 more wins than we had the year previous.
Yeah,
I am. It's 10 wins.
I am.
Bro.
Over 81 games. That's a pretty large percentage.
14 to 25. Okay.
Percentage-wise, do you know the difference? That's plus 100%, bro.
Wait. Come on, stop.
We arguing over 10 wins.
It wasn't 10 wins. It was 3.
Oh, wow.
It was 3. It was 3.
Oh, yeah, it was more. It was more.
Oh, wow.
Don't say 10 wins.
It was more.
3.
You're right.
It was more.
Hey, and you know what else?
It was more.
That meaningless rookie season that Cade had, according to you, they won over 20 games with Jeremy Grant missing 35 games. That's pretty fucking impressive. But you think that's meaningless.
And his numbers have improved every year.
You think that's meaningless.
Well, I don't think they improved.
His 3-point percentage has improved.
They have improved. His 3-point percentage is now 36%, which is a good 3-point percentage. And to Cade's detriment and to his credit, he wasn't good at it in the beginning, and he's gotten a lot better.
It's great. Still our most valuable asset, and if we can get more for him, see ya.
And I got something to say.
Uh-oh.
Premier Pet Supply.
Hey.
Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned for over 30 years. 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey, if you want to get that flannel, Sam, I have a wife shirt. Go get it now. It's up at shop at woodwardsports.com. We got Lions stuff up there. We got Red Wings stuff up there. I'm a Brad Holmes guy. You're a Brad Holmes guy. That t-shirt says Brad Holmes guy.
Hey.
You should be wearing it. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com.
Hey, welcome back to Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam, and I will try to goose Braba for the rest of the show. Do I think it's going to work?
Does that mean gargle LeBron's balls?
That means calm.
Good luck with that, Sam.
You know what I like the best?
Good luck
I'd rather
with that.
gargle LeBron's balls than Jaden Ivey's. I'm just saying. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But anywho, let's talk about a team that...
At least you're putting them in the conversation.
That's...
Oh, come on.
You're hilarious. You're hilarious. Let's talk about the Detroit Tigers to get everybody's mood up. Yeah? Yeah? The Detroit...
No, not at all.
All right.
It was over in 4
Just
pitches.
trade Flaherty already. Let's get this moving.
Hey, you know what's funny? Spenny on the show sheet just says the Detroit Tigers suck again.
Yep.
We suck again.
And do you know what yesterday was? Because we all know the Tigers have had this propensity since April 30th, believe it or not. They have had 7 games in which they've scored 10 or more runs, which is amazing, obviously. But it's pretty much almost always punctuated by a bunch of games in which they've scored 0 or 1. Because this season, what last night was the 22nd game this season in which they've scored 1 or fewer runs.
Sheesh.
22nd. That's 28 out of your games that you pretty much just piss down the toilet and say you can't win. Because you can't win when you score 1 or fewer runs. And it happened again. KG, your thoughts. How you feeling about this team?
You know, I'm looking ahead to the trade deadline in the offseason at this point. The Tigers are out of it. And we know what this is. The offense is shitty. The pitching is starting to fall off. And that's where we are.
I'm just drawing parallels between the Pistons conversation we had and this Tigers conversation. Now you're in agreements with me, right? This team's bad. Even their best player, Scrubble, could probably go.
Slightly different situations, but go ahead.
Because we need pieces. And now that's the angle I want you to start looking at the Pistons. Like, I'm proud of you, KG.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Here we
no,
go.
honestly. Like,
that is not the same situation. We don't have a guy on this team. We thought Spencer Torque was going to be the guy. He's not the guy. Riley Green is not the guy.
And for the record,
we're talking about bats, though. Pitching is whatever. We already know the pitching is what it is. We're talking about the big problem on this team, and that's bats.
And I'll tell you what, I'm actually still not trading Scooble.
Yeah.
I'm getting what I can for Jack Flaherty and Mark Canha. I'm calling up the Minnesota Twins and getting one of their top 100 prospects for Jack Flaherty, and I'm calling the Seattle Mariners and getting one of their top 100 prospects for Mark Canha. Because believe it or not, say what you want about Mark Canha, the Seattle Mariners are leading the AL West by a big margin, but they have offensive stats that are very comparable to the Detroit Tigers. And Mark Canha would instantly go on that team and lead their team in on-base percentage. So those are the two that I'm looking to get rid of, to get prospects. But I actually hope, I don't know if Chris Ilitch will do it, that they'll keep Scooble and pay him personally. Korean Jesus?
Yeah, I think that they're going to get rid of everyone who you said. I think they're going to get rid of Urshela. I think there's bullpen pieces who are going to go. I think you have to explore trading fully. I think you have to not Lang anymore. But I think that you're just trying to get any life in our organization that you possibly can. Mm-hmm. Literally. Anything positive is good. That's where we are at this point. It is so negative. Everyone is so bad. No one is showing up. We bring up Kreidler. He's ass. Yeah. Like, it is just ridiculous at this point.
No, I think the hardest thing about this team is that there's so much that you can look at and be like, wow, this is really positive. Did you know that the Tigers have 3 out of the top 16 starting pitching ERA leaders? Scooble, Flaherty, and Reese Olson. If we would have been told before the season that would have been the fate of the top 3 starters, I would have thought at the very least a 500 team, probably a couple games over 500. And by the way, if 3 of the top 16 doesn't sound that impressive, the only other AL team that's doing that is the Kansas City Royals, just for the record. And then you've got Riley Green having a phenomenal year despite a segment of the people in the chat who don't like him. But that's neither here nor there. You got Jason Foley, who's a pretty damn good closer, and Mark Canha, who's 15th in the American League in on-base percentage. If you would have told me that all of those things would be true, and oh, by the way, Riley Green is 7th in the AL amongst position players in WAR. If you would have told me that all of that is true, I would have thought, obviously, I didn't think the division was going to be good. This is a playoff team. This is potentially a division-winning team, but they have had so much else go wrong, like Spencer Torkelson, for example, like a Parker Meadows, like Javi Baez being worse than ever, like their shortstop position.
Isn't that the same problems they had last year, though?
I mean,
like the exact same players.
Well, toward the end of the year, they looked like they had life, and this year they just completely went backwards.
But yeah, that's one player though. They still never had a competent lineup to compete in an MLB season. Like, it was actually ridiculous that they didn't bring in more bats. Like, there was plenty of bats in the free agency market, and we were just Mark Canha, Gio Urshela,
and I love AJ Hinch, right? Like, I think AJ Hinch is a solid coach. I like the way he coached with the Astros. Obviously, he had more pieces, and he could play a little bit more games that way.
Yeah.
The way he platoons people here in Detroit, you can't do that in baseball of all sports. Of all sports, you cannot do that. You need to have that rhythm at the plate. You need to see live pitching every day. You need to be able to work out of slumps. Platooning positions, to me, is really throwing off the timing of the whole team. But is it his fault because he doesn't have the talent to start a guy almost every day, and he's got a platoon and play these stupid little analytical games like, well, this guy hits a little bit better against a lefty, so he's starting today, even though over the course of 162 games, he may have been the better option every game. That's what's throwing me off about this. You can't have a bad team and not let guys try to play their way to be better.
Well, it's funny.
But he holds on to a bias.
It's funny that you mentioned that, and for the AJ bots, you're not going to like this, but I don't care. I thought that the way that he handled Kerry Carpenter when he was healthy was shameful. There were 5 games this season, in which he was healthy enough to play, but either pinch hit or was pinch hit for that the Tigers lost. There were also 2 games in which Kerry Carpenter did not play, and one of them they lost 1-0 to the Marlins. I thought that was because last season, and this was the 2023 season, Kerry Carpenter was an over 800 OPS guy. This season, when he played, and obviously he's been out for a while, he's an over 900 OPS guy. My point is that what AJ Hinch has done, which I have not agreed with, is I think you just need to let your best hitters play. You can talk about how, if you do that, there's going to be some defensive deficiencies. I'll tell you what, the Tigers and the Yankees have about the exact same error numbers. The reason why the Tigers are as bad as they are, here are 2 stats as to why the Tigers are as bad as they are. They have had 22 games in which they've scored 1 or fewer run. And in Reese Olson starts, a man who has a 3.35 ERA, the Tigers are 3-12, including 2-7 in games in which Reese Olson has allowed 1 earned run or 0. My point is, he should have let Kerry Carpenter get everyday at-bats every day. And at this point, and I know this doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is, you need Carson Kelly to be your starting catcher every single day. Every single day. Because Jake Rogers, despite being morbid this season, has 17 more at-bats. And Carson Kelly has a 70 points higher on-base percentage and an 107 points higher OPS. And also, another experiment that the Tigers should do immediately, because their shortstop position, they're gonna write tragedy novels about it. It's been so bad with McKinstry, Baez, and Kreidler. Just let Andy Ibanez play short. He at least has an on-base percentage of over 300.
Right, that's it. I know you're playing the numbers day to day, but play the long-term numbers. Can we do that? Can we play that analytic baseball? I don't know. When you suck, try anything.
And that's my point.
But moving and shifting positions, it's almost like changing hosts on a show constantly. You're never going to find that continuity.
Well, and the reason I brought up Kerry Carpenter is a lot of times they wouldn't start him against lefties. One of the games they lost when he was out, Franmil Valdez was pitching for the Astros, and he's a lefty, and the Tigers lost that game. And another one, I believe his name was Ryan Weathers for the Marlins, and he was a lefty. But on some of those games, you'd have Parker Meadows out there. You'd have Colt Keith out there. You'd have Torque out there. You'd have Baez out there. You'd have Rogers. I just think AJ Hinch needs to do a better job of playing the best players that can give you a chance to win. And I know they're going to sell, and they should. Yeah. But in the meantime, just try something.
I agree. And you brought up that point about Kerry Carpenter and how he wasn't hitting against lefties. And Kerry Carpenter is still a pretty young player in his career. Yeah. And he needs to learn how to hit big league left-handed pitching still. And the fact that they're not giving him the opportunity to learn, even though we're ass, was an absolute botch. And now he's going to come back, and he's still not going to be comfortable hitting against lefties. And that's a big issue because he's good enough to be your everyday right fielder.
Yes, and that he has a 914 OPS when he's healthy. He's played 64% of the season and has a 914 OPS. I'm not saying we would have taken his health record this year, but if you could have guaranteed even that at this point, I think we would have taken it and done backflips. I see bada bing, bada boom, move Wensiel Perez to short. I don't hate that either.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you should have Wensiel Perez and Andy Ibanez, who's played a little short this year, not much, and the people who you guys love, and I'm not ready to give up on yet, Colt Keith. I think they should all be in the lineup every single day.
Well, Colt Keith's been mashing.
He has, but you had people yesterday say that they like Colt Keith more than Riley Green, which is lunacy.
That's ludicrous.
And we'll tell you that Riley Green will actually...
You don't know what ludicrous is.
That's actually...
You
wow.
don't.
Spenny, that's good. And we'll actually be upset when Riley Green gets an all-star spot. I'm manifesting it. It's happening.
It better.
7th in the AL amongst position players and wins above replacement.
I was told he was the next LK line.
He could be. He really could
That's
be.
what Len Henning said.
He's the one. He's 11th in the AL in OPS and 15th in on-base percentage. Those are numbers that are better than Adley Rutschman. On-base percentage is better than Jose Ramirez. OPS and OBP is better than Jose Altuve. OPS is better than Vlad Guerrero Jr. OPS and OBP is better than Corey Seager. I'm talking about Hall of Famers. Salvador Perez. You can go on and on and on with who Riley Green has outperformed this season by the numbers. And this guy is giving fingers. Why is he giving fingers?
It's just a KG.
I don't know why, but
that was interesting.
I wasn't expecting Spenny to cut to me. I thought he still wasn't paying attention.
Well, how could Spenny always pays attention? He's a phenomenal TD. it's like why
yeah, no.
Right.
As Spenny's over there,
he does his job to the best of his abilities for the show.
No.
While also
abilities are through the roof.
Well, also having a show of his own from 5 to 7 Woodward heavyweights.
That's
check
the
it
important
out.
stuff, right, Spenny?
Damn right.
Absolutely, and I don't blame you for saying that one bit. But anywho,
what are we doing here?
If you need to get a workout in, Sam Stick Day,
you know where to go. Fitness, you get that workout in, you get on that treadmill, get that cardio in, like we've seen Neil Rule do several times. $10 a month, where your fitness is essential. Get to Planet Fitness, and you know what? While you're there, upgrade to that black card, get the massage, get the tanning, get all the good stuff that comes along with it. Planet Fitness, there's one near you.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Visit Dispo Dispensary today for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory for Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug. And make sure to catch the Woodward Heavyweights live from Dispo Dispensary this Friday. Which one, Stick?
Romeo.
Yes, the Cannabis Mall, the best one yet.
I haven't been there, so I'm looking forward to going.
Really?
I'm looking forward to going out there.
It's a great spot.
Stick, you're gonna see like the angels, like
yeah. Hopefully, T-Burgers is there. That'd be hype.
Shout out. Dispo Dispensary. Welcome back, cruising into the second hour of Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam, filling in for Darren McCarty. The man to my right is Sam Stick Day, filling in for Neil Rule. It's been a spirited show today, that is for sure, but we also have KG in the sound booth. We've got Korean Jesus, a.k.a. Jesus, a.k.a. Justin in the chair.
A.k.a. I don't like Ludacris.
I never said that.
That's a bit of a black
rather
mark
go
against
see
them.
some cool DJs.
To each their own. And of course, we have Spenmo Rax in the TD booth.
Hello.
We've talked about some polarizing topics today, but you know what will always unify this room, no matter what? The Detroit Lions, of course.
Lions, baby.
But somebody who doesn't think as high of a certain Detroit Lions player as we do, and as his accolades show, is Madden, of course. Because in the Madden video game, Madden 25, they have the top 10 tight ends. And Sam Laporta, look where he's ranked, guys. Look where he's ranked.
What?
Not in the top 10.
Not in the top 10.
Really?
Really?
Didn't Darren Waller retire?
He did.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Didn't Darren Waller not even have 1,000 yards last year?
He's a zero. He's done. He don't even play anymore.
Kyle Pitts, I'm good on him too.
I mean, Pitts, they're still going on potential.
I guess.
Dalton Schultz agenda, I like that.
Dalton Schultz is a poor man's.
Dalton Schultz is the GOAT.
If Dalton Schultz is over Sam Laporta on a tight end ranking, you should cancel your ranking.
Yeah, it should be at least 5 or 6.
Yeah. Like, Dalton Schultz is a very fine player, but he's okay. He's never in a million years, whether there's a hurricane that knocks out 5 other tight ends, he's never going to be an all-pro in anything. Sam Laporta was that his rookie year. So, Stick, I know it's just Madden. I know that we're going to watch the season and we love Sam Laporta and everything, but do you look into this at all, or do you care, or what are your thoughts?
I like it. Just I love all these quarterback rankings that are disrespecting Jared Goff. I love this Madden ranking that's disrespecting Sam Laporta. Like, keep the chip on these guys' shoulders. You know, because I may not care about it, but Sam Laporta is going to take that as a slight. You know, hopefully they use it as motivation. Like, if you did that to Jordan, what do you say? Well, I took that personal. Yeah. And that's what I want Sam Laporta to do. Like, all right, you don't even think I'm a top 10 tight end?
Who cares?
That's what I want Jared Goff to do. Like, oh, these guys think Jordan Love's better than me? What a bunch of idiots. I'm going to show them. And use this as motivation, because it is Madden. It really doesn't matter. Like, but when you put forward a historic rookie season and do what Sam Laporta did in this offense, knowing what's going to happen this season too, he should definitely be in the top 5, if not top 3.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you look at last year, I think the biggest compliment to Sam Laporta is that he was an all-pro over Travis Kelce. And don't get me wrong, Travis Kelce missed a game. He wasn't quite what he was, but he still had almost 1,000 yards. But the rankings...
He was trash last year.
He wasn't trash.
Kelce?
He wasn't trash.
Listen.
He wasn't himself, but there's
him and Mahomes, as soon as he started dating Taylor Swift, those stats went to... I'll pull it up for you. I'll show you.
I
Like,
understand
about
that.
week... Was it week 9 of last year? It's just like he hit a wall at CD. He wasn't... And I'm not saying... like. A bad Travis Kelce's better than 90% of
so
good
that's why you should say
ends.
trash. Like, choose your words.
He's a trash version of Travis Kelce. How's that?
He was a worse version of himself, but he also had over 200 yards combined in the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce, once he got there, he knew, like, even if this is kind of a last dance thing, which he's coming back for the record.
I thought he was going to retire this year, honestly.
Yeah,
I thought it was over. I thought him and his brother were going to ride off into the sunset.
He ain't got too many more years, though.
You got the golden parachute and Taylor Swift. Like, just go travel the world.
No, because you're absolutely right. Travis Kelce at the later part of the regular season was not his normal self, but then he really turned it on in the playoffs and had at least 70 yards in every playoff game, which is pretty damn phenomenal for a tight end. But my point is that Travis Kelce, he's, in my opinion, the best tight end ever, and certainly the most decorated tight end of this generation. Decorated. Yeah. And they thought enough of Sam Laporta, who had less receiving yards than him, to put him at second-team All-Pro, because you saw what you were looking at. You saw the impact as a rookie. And I agreed with that decision, by the way. And I certainly think that he should be top 10 rated amongst Madden 25. I understand that it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's so egregious.
Yeah.
It's not just like a normal snub. This is egregious. If he were at number 7 or 8, then I'd be like, yeah, this is a snub, but I can see it. He's not even in the top 10. Korean Jesus?
So how about this? Rob Gronkowski, who put up 546 yards and 10 touchdowns his rookie year, which is not as good of a season as Laporta.
Oh, no. Laporta was record-setting.
Yeah. He was an 84 overall that next Madden. So where's the stuff with Laporta? He put up a better season. Like, this is absolute trash.
We're gonna have to see the rest of the ratings to figure out why it averaged out to that. Because I mean, there's one thing that's probably bringing them down, or I don't know. Honestly, it's Madden, bro. Like,
they in a lab making this shit up, man. But it really doesn't matter. Madden has historically disrespected the Lions, man. The only two players that they've ever shown love to is Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson.
100%.
And we know why they did Barry Sanders, because that was Madden's favorite player.
I don't know, man. There was a team back, what was that, like 08, when they had Teddy Lehman and Boss Bailey at linebacker, and they had them at like 86 speed, and those guys were making tackles all over and they were trash in real life. But in Madden, that speed at linebacker with Teddy Lehman and Boss Bailey, you weren't messing with. And you got Dre Bly covering the outside.
That was years ago, Stick.
I know.
Years ago.
Well, but speed's still broken in the game, so don't worry.
Well, yeah. But I mean,
Madden
the Lions,
sucks.
they won 12 games last year, and I think as a team, they probably didn't have them higher than an 82, 83. So that just go to show you what the hell Madden do, man.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, and for the record, I could even the top four with Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, and Hawkinson. I'm not mad at it, although I personally would rank Laporta over Hawkinson. David Njoku,
Sam Laporta's better than Njoku.
He is, but David Njoku at least is a physical freak who's finally starting to put it together.
And that's what I'm saying, like, because when you're breaking down the Madden,
yeah.
it's like, okay, Njoku's probably can jump at a 99. His speed's a little bit faster. And all those things add up to better. But at the end of the day,
they make this shit up.
Laporta's top 5 tight end, period.
His
end of story, end of
what's
discussion.
taking him.
Well, and to be honest, the ones that I'm most mad at are Dallas Goedert and Dalton Schultz.
Hey.
Yeah.
They're closer to
Dalton Schultz is the GOAT.
They're closer to okay than they are to great. I'll just say that. They're fine. They're very fine tight ends who will never make an all-pro in their lives. And Sam Laporta did it as a rookie.
And Kyle Pitts got to come
I'm
off
just
that
saying,
list.
when
I'm
Dalton
sorry.
Schultz came to the Texans, they won a division.
They did.
So.
They did.
And Nico Collins, C.J. Stroud had a little
Saying
bit to
one
do with
for
that.
one.
Will Anderson, I mean, those players don't matter. It was all Dalton Schultz. But hey, Dalton Schultz was good, though.
Yeah,
he was good.
Baby Larry Hoover says the Lions are an 89 overall in Madden.
Finally.
89 overall.
Yeah.
about to say,
and then it doesn't matter, too, because they do in-season ratings updates anyway.
Right.
So once Sam Laporta gets the ball in, he'll be higher. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, so what was he at the end of last season?
I'll look it up.
That's a good question.
Did they just release the tight ends, or is that the only position?
They probably released more, but that was the one I saw.
Yeah.
Let's see what they have Jared Goff at.
Oh, you know they ain't.
99, baby. 99.
Nah, they're
arm power. 99.
I heard he's not even an 80.
Accuracy. 99. Scramble ability. 99.
Yeah, if you edit the stats, sure.
Stick, real talk, though, they have him below an 80.
Who,
Yeah.
Goff?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's stupid.
They never show Jared Goff love.
That's stupid.
They have. I think they're gonna have him at like a 78.
No way.
No, real shit.
No way. He's
Real
gonna
shit.
he's gonna be at least like an 83.
No,
No,
they
G.
said he's lower than an 80.
Who said? Who's they?
The Madden news sites I follow.
Thank you.
I don't have an exact source. That was off the dome.
What are you talking about?
I wasn't
You sound
prepared
like
for
Flannel
this.
Sam.
I wasn't prepared for this segment.
hey, and like,
I don't know.
I
They
don't have
said
a
it.
news source.
No, don't just go saying stuff like that, because then it's gonna weaponize the army of people who are going to just go insane. Because obviously Jared Goff should be above an 80. Obviously, we're not stupid. But there's going to be people who are going to say, like, above Patrick Mahomes, or he's being disrespected. Sam Stick Daycoff. But anywho, that's
I don't know. Mahomes didn't have a
he's
great
an
year
80.
last year.
He's an 80.
He's an 80.
Baby Larry Hoover.
I just looked
He's
it
an
up.
80, though.
Shout out
That's
to Big
still
Meech.
disrespectful, bro.
He says 82 in Madden is what Larry Hoover says.
I just have to know what others,
big
others in relation are.
Laporta's also an 82.
An 82?
Hallelujah.
But he's 2 points off the top 10.
But he's 7
should
points
be
behind Njoku.
Yeah, like,
See, this one's gonna shock you. What do you think Brian Branch is?
88.
77.
84.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I thought it was.
He's looked at as one of the best players in the game.
Yes,
man.
I just don't expect Madden to show us love.
What do you think Amon-Ra is? He's way higher than I thought.
94.
90.
He better be in the 90s.
91.
95.
Whoa.
Good.
Damn.
Shout out Bad for actually showing Amon-Ra.
First team All-Pro.
No, those, honestly, the Amon-Ra and the Brian Branch ones, those sound about right.
Yeah.
Because Brian Branch, I mean, it's not just his production and how good he was. He's just got a lot of measurables as well. in terms of like, hitting power and ball hawking and speed. And it was football speed, even though his 40 time wasn't great. So yeah, shout out to Brian Branch and shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown for being properly rated, even if Sam Laporta.
Well, the team
and I'll have you know, in my Madden franchise mode this year, I did not re-sign Jared Goff.
Wow.
Dude, why are you
I was about to say that.
You started Hendon Hooker, didn't you?
I did not. I did not. I drafted somebody else.
Computer generated.
Well, it's so easy to trade for the first
overall
overall
better
pick,
anyway.
so.
So.
But they're at 83 overall, the team.
Okay. Whatever. I'm going to play with them anyways. I played with them when they were 60. I played with them when they were 70. I would always choose the Lions. And then you just throw jump balls to Calvin Johnson.
Yeah,
that's all you do.
That's
all you do.
That fade, that touchdown fade to Calvin in the old man.
Yep.
When you rebuild them, do you try to keep it semi-realistic? Or do you just say, fuck it?
Till I get 12 years in and there's no real players actually existing.
Yeah, I stop
I think
at
right
that
now
point.
Trevor Lawrence is my backup quarterback or something.
I stop at that point. You go 15 years deep, that's crazy.
Yeah. Dude, when I used to play MLB The Show and all that stuff, I'd play the whole 182 game season.
Yeah.
Man.
I'd play every single game, every single.
That's crazy.
That's tough.
I used to bring the season like down because I was not about to play 182 games. I'd play like 35 or like 50.
We don't simulate, baby.
You don't simulate at all because with the show you can actually simulate in game, so the games go quicker.
I don't like that.
Man, he didn't even.
You playing all 9 innings
with the stats that you earn, right? Because their simulated stats are not going to be your actual
Sam, you
stats.
don't have this much time.
Well, I don't do it now. I'm talking when I played when I was like younger. I do not have time now, but back in the day, that's. When I'd sit down, I'd play it.
That's a lot.
That is hardcore.
How about Swiss Insurance?
I love doing franchise, boy.
Hey, but you know what else is hardcore? Getting your insurance from Swiss Insurance. That's
hardcore.
No, you're not hardcore. Anywho, now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Unless you live hardcore, Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today at 313-530-1698 or visit the website at swissins.com.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Keeping it pushing on Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam. The man to my right is Sam Stick Day. And while we're on the topic of the Detroit Lions, because it's certainly the best team in the city and the one that brings the most harmony amongst the room. And sometimes I need a little harmony or else I will have a heart attack mid-show. But anywho, we all agree on Jahmyr Gibbs, right? We love Jahmyr Gibbs.
Y'all love him now.
Hey, of course he does.
Didn't love him draft night.
Mr. always got a
Y'all love him now.
Mr. Victory Lap, man, Stick. Can never just let us all enjoy our player. He's just got to be Mr. Victory Lap. That's fine.
Because you didn't enjoy him when we first got him.
You can be humble in victory like I always
That's
am.
the victory lap seat. You know that. Neil Rule is a victory lapper too.
He takes victory laps even when they're not there to take.
Yeah.
And Neil's one of the guys that didn't like Gibbs that night too. And nobody here liked him.
And he'll still
Me and Anson were the only ones who were like, all right, it's nice.
Hey, won't stop Neil from
But either way, I'm glad everybody's on board now. Thank you.
How could you not be?
I don't know.
At this point, how could you not be? And furthermore, if we want to move this discussion a little bit further, and Stick, I will ask you first as the one who believed in him even when he was drafted. Is it crazy to say that Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 running back in the NFL?
No, it's not crazy, especially with the way the running backs are used today in the NFL. I mean, he is your prototype of today's NFL, and that was part of what they wanted when they drafted him. They said he was kind of going to redefine how the running back position is.
He's a weapon.
And that's exactly it. I wouldn't be surprised this year because last year was just a slow burn on Jahmyr Gibbs. You know, they didn't really play him much early in the season. Then unfortunately or fortunately, Montgomery got a little dinged up. Then Gibbs had his time to shine. Yep. He took that moment and, you know, forgive the pun, ran with it, and it showed what he could be. Then they started to use him a little bit more in gadgets here and there. And this year, Ben Johnson and the continuity that whole offense has coming back pretty much intact from last year. I believe the heavies were talking about it last night. It just, Tom Brady was saying, just when you have that next level understanding of the offense, it goes beyond, because you already have that communication without having the communication. And this year, you're going to see Gibbs in the slot. You're going to see him line up outside. You're going to see him get those little J-Mo reverses or a fake reverse to J-Mo and a pitch underneath the Gibbs. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how they use Jahmyr Gibbs this year, because they probably maybe used 40% of his capacity last year and what he's capable of in this offense.
Man, 40. If that's 40% of Jahmyr Gibbs, I think that's a little aggressive, but still, hey, I think this guy is a little.
Think Christian McCaffrey.
He can tap into another gear.
I said it that he can be the best running back in the NFL. So I will agree with you that he certainly is. I think he already is a top 5 running back in the NFL, even if the stats don't bear it out just yet, because I think this season he will definitively pass guys like Derrick Henry and Kyron Williams, given where they're at in their respective careers.
I mean, Derrick Henry is what Derrick. It's going to be interesting to see him in that Ravens offense.
And that's facts. That's a really
stay healthy. Oh my God,
that's a really good.
I still don't want to tackle. I'd still rather try to tackle Gibbs than Derrick Henry, just because of the impact involved in it. I'm probably not going to get a finger on Gibbs, but I'm getting trucked by Derrick Henry.
You got to chase around Lamar Jackson, then tackle Derrick Henry. Good luck with that.
Never been a running back.
But I'm with
They'll
you.
still choke in the playoffs, though. Don't worry.
Of course, because Lamar is one of the biggest playoff chokers in NFL history.
That is facts, unfortunately.
And people don't give him enough flack for it, but he's terrible in the playoffs.
It's because he's not a throwing quarterback.
Yes.
6 touchdowns,
You can't
6
be a
picks.
one-dimensional quarterback in the playoffs.
And I will always sit here and slander that man in the playoffs, because he does not win. I kept telling my friends when they were rooting for Baltimore and I was rooting for the Chiefs, shout out Patty Mahomes, elite ball placement by Lamar Jackson in all game, every single throw, elite ball placement. When you're just overthrowing, underthrowing, doesn't matter. He's not an accurate thrower. That's why he sucks in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson doesn't get enough flack for just being awful in the playoffs. He gets the same amount of flack as Josh Allen, and Josh Allen actually has had phenomenal playoff performances and has put up great playoff numbers. Lamar Jackson has not. He has a 1-to-1 career touchdown to interception ratio in the playoffs, but this isn't about Lamar Jackson. It's about Jahmyr Gibbs. And me personally, I think you can pencil in, given his health, and this is me, as somebody who believes that Jahmyr Gibbs should get the most carries on the team. I think you can pencil him in for 1,500 yards from scrimmage next year. You can almost set your watch to it, obviously barring injury.
Yeah.
And last season,
1,000 rushing too.
9 and 6.
Yeah.
I would say 1,104.
1,100.
That's,
See, I think he's going to have more passing yards this year.
We'll see.
I think you're going to see a lot more dual sets with Montgomery in the backfield and him moving in and out.
I mean, and the reality is one of the 2 guys that the Lions lost on offense was Josh Reynolds. And I'm not saying Jahmyr Gibbs is going to directly replace Josh Reynolds, but Josh Reynolds was your 3rd most targeted player last year.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go to somebody. Obviously, more are going to go to J-Mo and DPJ and all of that. But Jahmyr Gibbs, you saw what he did at Alabama and what he wasn't quite as good at last year as we might have hoped, although he was a better runner than we would have thought. When you look at those guys, there's only 8 players last year, 8 in the entire NFL. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players who had over 1,500 scrimmage yards. Only 4 of them were running backs. And I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is already better than Breece Hall, James Cook, and Rashad White. I would agree. The only one who also had more than that was Christian McCaffrey, who's the best running back in the game by a mile.
Yeah.
Best running back in the game by a mile. But KG, is Jahmyr Gibbs a top 5 running back in the NFL?
Absolutely, for all the reasons y'all just said, and just the fact that he did all this being RB2 essentially. Like, he wasn't the starting back last year, almost touched 1,000 yards, had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. So you got to think he's only going to get better. And where we need to see him improve is out of the backfield. While he did have some yardage last year, there were a lot of times where we saw him drop a lot of passes out of the backfield. So if he can improve that, absolutely. Everything that they said about him being a weapon is absolutely true.
And I would love to see it. And James, I saw you. You look like you got a lot to say on this subject. Is Jahmyr Gibbs a top 5 running back in the NFL right now?
I'd say not yet. You can't say that yet, and I'd say the reason why is the sample size is just too small right now.
It's pretty.
And I'd say this: I'd put McCaffrey, I'd put Chubb ahead of him. I would say Josh Jacobs when he's healthy, would put him ahead of him. I'd say Derrick Henry's still a better back. And I'd say Travis Etienne, and I'd put
Travis Etienne.
He had a great year last year with the Jaguars.
When he's on the field, sure, but I don't know.
I'm just saying the other one I'd put is Barkley too. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 10 back.
You're taking a lot of hurt running backs, but
I was gonna say a lot of those guys are when
injured
healthy
as
guys.
hell.
When healthy
guys.
But we've only seen Jahmyr Gibbs for one season.
Not even one season, honestly. You've only seen him for like 10 games.
And that further proves my point. Is you're going to put a guy into a top 5 running back conversation only over the course of 10 games. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he can't
in
be.
Almost 10 games. Though.
I'm just saying though, you only seen him over 10 games. I'm curious to see how he comes back this year. I think he's more of a receiving threat than he is necessarily as a pure running back, because that's the reason why they have Montgomery. So I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see this year. I think he'll have a kind of a 900. Kind of a 600 yards receiving, 900 yards rushing this year. I think it'll be a great year, but I think you're going to see him more as a pass catcher than you will as a pure running back.
See, I think he needs 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Or else he's excluded from this conversation moving forward of top 5. But I think he will, for the record.
Yeah.
And
it depends on his role in the offense, right?
I disagree.
So if Monty has like 1,200 on the ground and Gibbs has 800, but 700 receiving, you're going to say that excludes him from the top conversation?
From top 5. From top 5. I think to be top 5, you got to be an 1,000-yard rusher. You have to run the football at an elite level, which Jahmyr Gibbs did on a per-carry basis. He did, for the record. But James, a.k.a. Power Neck, I don't hate it, because when we're talking about the best running backs in the NFL and the best players by Lions at certain positions, we do have to acknowledge, you mentioned Nick Chubb, who coming back from injury, that's going to be tough, but certainly pre-injury was better. You look at Christian McCaffrey. You didn't even mention Kyron Williams. You mentioned Saquon. You mentioned Derrick Henry. You could even throw Bijan Robinson into the mix. I just think the way that this season is going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs' talent and how they're going to utilize him, that he will prove to be one of the best backs in the NFL. I think moving forward, at least this next year, it might even be Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's very possible.
That's not far-fetched.
It's not.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's another guy, though, Vaki, that they drafted this year. They're listing him as a running back now on the depth chart.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Why?
Because they need, I think, more help at safety depth.
Well, he'll
be spot
like he's
safety.
listed, but he's gonna play special teams. I mean, he's gonna play
They
defense.
use him like Germ.
It's gonna be very interesting to see how they integrate him, and he may vulture a few like passing touchdowns or flare plays on offense as well.
Well, and
I'd look out for that.
And honestly, if you look at what Sione Vaki did at Utah last year, on a per-touch basis, was the most dynamic player in all of college football in terms of offensively. But of course, he didn't have as many touches, and he had to fulfill that role and play both sides, even though it's difficult.
I'm not saying he's going to take over the offense, but I'm just saying he may snake a touchdown or two, or a couple screen passes that get broken or something like that.
That seems like offensively what his role will be.
Yep.
But where there are 5 roles, 6 roles that are filled perfectly, including by myself, the Morning Woodward Show. Wake up, Woodward.
Right. Woo crew.
I had no idea where he was going. I thought he was talking about fat chicks. Wake up with the Woo Crew. Wake up, Woodward, 8 to 10 a.m.
Promote our shit.
Kool-Aid. Flannel Sam. Brother, I'm trying to promote it, but you're talking all over me, KG. Sit over
You did
there.
that to me at one point in time, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So, you listen to KG banter with everybody every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Bringing that with your Premier Pet Supply, man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Hey, we got to give a shout out to Dr. Pierce. He's our injury insider whenever there's a big injury in Detroit sports, or really just any sports. He's going to come on the show and let you know how it happened, how to fix it, how long recovery time is going to be. And every Tuesday, you can check him on Big D Energy, and Thursdays with Ermanni and Edwards, powered by Michigan Sports and Spine Center and MRI of Southfield.
You know, before we move on to the to any other talk, Ryan's reaction, because it was a super chat, $4.99. Thank you so much, Ryan's
Shout
reaction.
out.
Is Monty a top 15 running back in the NFL?
Yes.
Ooh. The Lions have 2 top 15 running backs?
Absolutely. Best backfield in the league.
3 and Jesus? Just like initial reaction. Is Monty a top 15 running back in the NFL?
Yes.
Howard Neck?
No.
Oh my God, you explain.
That's not crazy, by the way.
Elaborate.
Again, I just would say he had one good season. This past season was a really good season for him. Still was shy, under 1,000 yards rushing. Wasn't really much for a pass catcher. Again, as a running back, you got to talk about the totality of the position. It's more than just being able to run the football. You have to be a credible pass catcher out of the backfield. You have to be able to pick up blitzes. And I'm just saying, as in terms of, I can name 15 guys that are better at doing that than David Montgomery. Solid back, a good compliment, but there's a reason why that they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round this past year.
I mean,
that's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy. I would probably put David Montgomery personally somewhere between 10 and 15, but I'll listen to arguments.
Who are the running backs like just around him, in your opinion, Powerneck?
I would say if you're looking at that, I mean, I would say I'd put a guy like Aaron Jones ahead of him in his own division.
100%.
Okay.
Yep. That's not even a question.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's a lot of running backs. I mean, could you make the argument for it? Yes. I mean, I'd put like a Tony Pollard ahead of him as well, just because he has to take. I mean, he's the lead back in that scenario.
I don't think Tony Pollard's better than David Montgomery. I'd put him right around like James Conner level. I think James Conner's a perfect comp for Montgomery, and they both are around that 10 to 15 range.
Yeah, that's not bad. I actually just pulled up the 1,000-yard rushers from last year. Obviously, he's not better than CMC. He's not better than Henry. He's not better than Kyron Williams. I don't think he's better than James Cook. DeAndre Swift?
Yes.
You say that like it's the most obvious thing ever. Montgomery is better, but it's close. It's closer than you think.
Yeah.
I think I would put. I think James Conner is a pretty good. I would probably.
I like Montgomery's style better than Swift.
That's fair. That is 100%.
That's what I like. Montgomery's going to get you yards after contact. He's going to break tackles.
I'd put Monty over Najee
Swift
Harris.
To me is more of a finesse guy.
Absolutely over Najee.
And I just really don't think that Swift is in that same style of running back, right? So I'm going to take Monty just based on style, especially when you already have the flash guy.
Yeah. That is 100% fair. For this Detroit Lions team, I would take Monty over a lot of backs.
Because if you have Swift and Gibbs,
it doesn't work.
It's the Spider-Man.
And if we talk about 1 year for Monty, Swift only had one breakout year, which was last year with the Eagles.
Monty is definitely top 15. I'm looking at all these running backs. I cannot find 15 better running backs than Monty. There's no way.
You said Najee Harris. Monty's better than Najee Harris.
By a mile.
Joe Mixon.
I'm taking Joe Mixon.
He's better than Joe Mixon.
I'd probably take Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
Really?
Travis Etienne.
I'd take ETN.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
More of a complete player.
He don't stay on the field.
What about
did this past year?
Hey, he has had 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
He missed two. He missed 2 or 3 games this year.
Justin, this would be great for one of your videos.
What?
Who's better than Monty?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I have that already prepped, actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's get that.
I would take Bijan over Monty. I would take Saquon. I would take Isaiah Pacheco personally. I would take Kenneth Walker.
You would take Pacheco over?
Yeah, I would.
Imagine Monty in that offense.
No, but Pacheco's more athletic. He's faster. Like
he is faster.
You want to talk about more complete?
Faster doesn't.
Monty makes way more plays than Pacheco. In the postseason, Pacheco was good, but
that's what matters.
Let's not do this.
Yeah, but he had almost 1,000 yards with the Bears shitty O-line.
You do this every single time.
Let's not do this.
Every player that you like does everything themselves and they carry everything and don't need any help. You do this with Goff. You're doing this with Gibbs. You do this.
No, I just don't like discrediting somebody who's done it in multiple locations.
I'm not discrediting.
That's all. Like, if the only reason Monty was successful in Chicago with a dog shit offensive line. So now he has a good line and he's doing well. I'll acknowledge that, but that's not the only reason this guy's good. He was good before he got here.
He just never had.
We got a bargain getting him here, of course, and it was an L in the division to Chicago. So, I'll give all the credit in the world to the Lions' offensive line. I do think it's the best in the league, but that doesn't mean that
you still
that's the only reason Monty's successful.
Fair.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to use it to hedge what we're saying about him. That's all.
I have a question for James. So, James, what do you think about Tony Pollard having less rushing yards in 3 less games than Monty?
Again, I don't just base it off of one season. If you just base it off that one season, then I'll give you that. Yes, I'm not.
Well,
I'm not
I
afraid
believe
to
Monty outrushed him the year before as well because he was a backup running back that year too.
Tony Pollard is not close.
He had 1,000 yards rushing the year before. I'll pull that up. But look, I can name 15 guys that I'd take over Monty right now. I can do it.
I kind of want you to, but that's not good content.
But I think that's the area that he winds up in, right? Like, if we're all going to list it, you're going to have him maybe 20. You're going to have him maybe 10.
I'd say 13.
In the average, it's going to be around 15. So he's right there. He's right there. He's in that conversation. I think that's the conversation you can have, because if you put him down at 20, I don't think that's a good conversation, and you don't put him up at 10. 15 is a great argument point for Monty.
I would say the absolute highest you could put him is something like 12, and the lowest is something like 17. I know that's kind of a wide range and all of that, but Ryan's reaction, shout out to you. You completely took over a segment with that excellent comment, because I'll tell you what, maybe it's something that I like too much, but making lists is like crack to me. Heroin, inject it into my veins, making lists.
I was gonna say, you injecting crack over there?
Does anyone?
I don't know drugs.
Does anyone have?
I don't know drugs.
Does anyone have Achane or Rachaad White over Monty?
I don't have Rachaad White, but Rachaad White, though, he's an excellent pass catcher. But
that's all he can do, though.
But I value being like a running back, unless you're like getting like unless you're like Alvin Kamara or something like that. I mean, Rachaad White. Shout out. He had a good year last year, but I'm taking Monty. If we're splitting hairs between him and Monty, I'm taking Monty.
H-Chan, we just got to see more of it.
And I'm also looking at the system that I'm in, right? It depends on where I'm at. Do I want Monty?
Yeah.
And for right here, right now, he's the right guy. He's the perfect complementary piece to Gibbs. And to have arguably a top 15 running back as your RB 1/2 to complement your arguably top 5 running back. This is an awesome conversation that we get to have as Lions fans.
I mean, we've said it before, we'll say it again, and it's going to sound redundant, but nothing sounds redundant when talking about Lions' success. One thing we can't argue is that it's the best running back duo in the NFL.
League, period.
And especially with how they complement each other, which alludes to what you said.
We've come a long way from our 2 spinner, boys. Come a long way.
And old Reggie Bush.
At least Reggie went over 1,000.
Yeah, but look how long it took us to get 1,000 yards.
I know, but at least Reggie did it. If he didn't do it, it would have been James Stewart.
We had to live through Kevin Jones and Mikael LaShore.
I thought Kevin Jones was going to be something, and I know some people. He was good at Virginia Tech, man. I'm telling you,
Kevin Jones.
He had a couple good games, but that guy
hated Kevin.
That guy
Jones,
was also an asshole.
Yeah,
honestly, he used to come to Venue in Dearborn on Thursday nights. We used to host it at the nightclub, and the Lions. Sean Rogers would come up there, James Hall would come up there, Teddy Lehman, which we mentioned earlier, Kevin Jones, and That guy was just a pure asshole.
Damn.
He was Eric Ebron level in-person asshole.
Oh, don't want to hear that.
Like Ebron, I don't know if you've ever had an interaction with Ebron.
He just
or
looks
anything.
like an asshole. I can't front on you.
Aside from what he did on the field, when he got drafted as a rookie, this is when I was working for Channel 955, and we threw a concert with JLB. It was called Big Show at the Joe, right?
Yeah, I remember Big Show.
Yeah, and I think they still do it, but now it's at LCA.
It's different now, yeah.
Yeah, and 955 is not a part of it. But either way, like, he comes walking in as a rookie, like the dude is Calvin Johnson or the dude's Barry Sanders, and it starts pushing past security saying, "Don't you know who I am?" And here's a message to anybody listening. If you ever have to ask, "Don't you know who I am?" They don't know who you are.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. Like, if you have to ask, they don't know. And that was my first impression of Eric Ebron, and then he gets on the field with his hoof hands and can't catch a damn thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, not only is this guy an asshole to people like that are working an event and trying to help, he can't catch a football.
Yeah.
Until he went to Indy and played with Luck for 1 year.
I mean, the average person, I'm not saying us because we all work in sports media, but even some of my friends from some of the jobs I've had before this, like guy friends who enjoy NFL football, would not be able to pick Eric Ebron out of a lineup.
Yeah.
Even now. And certainly not when he was just drafted.
He's the human with the hoof hands.
The human with the hoof hands.
that's how you pick him
can't
out.
catch a damn
Wait,
thing.
that guy's got hoofs as hands? All right, that's Ebron.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He was absolutely he had some few moments, but he was certainly a bust, especially taking him over Aaron Donald. And to sort of, I think this is a good bow to wrap up the whole Monty thing. And this is from DNCENTE. And I'm kind of curious to get you, KG, and you, Korean Jesus' quick thoughts on this. James Cook, Pollard, Swift, Monty are all in the same area.
No.
Nah, yeah.
Monty's higher than them.
Mm-hmm.
James Cook and Pollard are higher.
Yeah, and I just got to see more of James Cook,
I don't
too.
like James Cook that much.
Yeah,
I don't think
he wasn't that great until the end of the year last year.
How do you love Monty, but you don't like James Cook?
I don't hate him, but I just got to see more.
He doesn't pop off the screen. Like, I mean, Monty's so consistent. He gets every yard you need. I just think that has to have some value. When is a time you saw Monty fail to get a first down that we needed in a short yardage situation? Name one.
James Cook had more rushing yards as like the only option, though. Like, that's the thing.
As the only option. The only option.
And that's why it's hard to compare these two. Because if Monty was the workhorse and got every carry for the Lions, he'd have James Cook.
He'd have 1,500 yards.
If you swap them,
stop that. He would not have 1,500 yards.
Can you agree that Monty's been the more consistent back between the two? It took James Cook a while in order to get to the level he got to last year.
Fine.
That's all I'm saying.
But there's no world in where Monty is up here and James Cook is like right here.
No, they're close.
I don't think it's egregious. Yeah,
they're close, but I'd take Monty in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
that's fair. And I can't. And if you want to use kind of the Lions fan bump, I don't blame you, especially with how good their running back room functioned last year.
It's crazy how devalued running backs are in the NFL, though. We were talking yesterday. I was filling in on Big D Energy or on Ermanni and Edwards, and the franchise tag for a running back, the only other position that's lower than franchise tag a running back is a kicker. Isn't that crazy?
It's insane.
Isn't that like it goes punter, running back in the scheme of how you pay these guys now?
Yeah.
So like, and that I think this is why though we're sitting here listing 20 some odd running backs, which are all relatively similar, can do relatively the same thing. Just kind of depends on where they are. There's very few just dogs anymore.
Yeah.
They all just kind of do the same thing.
And let's hope that Jahmyr Gibbs can be one of them. And I think he certainly had a rookie season, which gives evidence to that he can be. But you know what else? There's a lot of evidence that my haircuts always look great when I go to Lady Jane's, no matter what you MFers say in the chat. Awesome is where a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in and sit back and relax and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Wicked. Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Hey, if you're going through that nasty divorce or child custody, visitation, family law issues, it's never fun. Make it as easy on yourself as possible. KDKLawoffices.com will take care of that for you. Divorce, family, and criminal law. KDK Law right here in Birmingham. Scan that QR code above my head right now and get in contact with them.
Don't let her take half your shit.
I'm about to say, I was waiting for KG to say that, and that is some very wise advice from Mr. KG. But welcome back to Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network, and I am calling Jesus, Korean Jesus, Justin to the main stage.
Hold on, Justin going hard in the comments right now.
Right.
Dude, some dude's trying to tell me how I wear my hair. Like, get fucked. Like,
whoa!
It's my fucking hair. If you don't like it, get the fuck off the broadcast. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Hey, Justin, just for the record, I have had my hair talked about.
They got him.
100.
They got him.
Like,
you got Justin.
Yeah, man.
Oh no, this is a learning experience for the intern, right? People are gonna say a lot worse things to you.
Oh, they have.
No, Justin fiery, man. They don't play that shit.
They have, but I don't give a shit. I'm gonna stand on my business.
stand on
I ain't
business,
cutting my
Justin.
hair.
But here's the deal: by you doing this is showing you give a shit, and that is the game we play, my friend. They're gonna say everything to knock you off your game. You gotta stay on point.
Right.
Don't let them throw you off with that hair.
Well, that's why I wasn't gonna say anything on air. That's why I just was fucking giving him the shit on chat, but you had to bring it up.
Hey.
But you can tell you're so locked into the chat. What have you clipped today?
Oh,
I have a clip. And I have every single time.
We got 17 minutes left in the show.
It takes me 5 minutes to do all my clips because I know exactly where they are. I have them all written down on my phone.
Right, but they're supposed to come out during the show, right?
Yeah.
Y'all got him so fucked up. He's been in the chat.
Korean Jesus. If you want to feel a little bit better, just a fan. Flannel, you rock that I live in a dumpster look. Comb your hair.
damn.
Where was this one? Real quick cream of wheat, who I think was giving you shit. Better than following Sam Flannel's looks. Hey, I get it every single day from everyone in the chat, and it's all well and good because I know I look better than all of you.
Tell him you have a wife, Korean Jesus. I have a wife.
I mean,
Stand on business.
I don't even want to talk about the wings anymore.
All right, he's over. I don't really feel like it.
Dude, this is what NBA players go through when there's a heckler, right? They're like, I'm done with this. I'm not playing basketball anymore. Now, it's part of the show business, baby. I've been in this since 2001, and the things I've had said to me, the people I've had showing up to fight me and stuff like that. It's
the things they said about you just today.
Yeah, just today. But I love it because as long as you're talking about me, we're in business, baby.
I got you.
that's fine with me.
I'm learning, sicko.
Yeah, I know.
I've had some talks with Neil and D-Mac trying to help me out. And Spenny. So shout out to them. But
yeah.
Called you Sticko.
I don't really care. I'll throw the middle fingers up at anyone.
Sticko.
I'm good.
Hey, you'd rather be memorable than forgotten, man.
Right. Nobody boos a bench player, man.
What does this mean from Shad? Sam got a 100% hit rate. Oh, as a target. I thought he said at target.
As a target.
As a target. I'm like, I thought he said at target, which I don't know about that.
This is a great show.
I don't know about that.
Put this one in the archives, man.
I have a wife, guys. I'm not looking for any milfs. Come on now. I'll wingman
with
you.
the hair flip.
Right?
I will wingman you guys for your milfs and encourage you guys to get your own milfs. Shout out Spenmo Rex. If I'm not even going to put that energy out there. I am a happily married individual. Sam Flannel brushes his hair with a belt sander. See Korean Jesus? See Korean Jesus? I get all of that and I just smile. Yeah. And I just smile and, because here's at the end of the day, to quote the great Adam Sandler from The Wedding Singer, I have a microphone. So you're going to listen to everything I say.
You're going to quote him. Get the quote right.
Wait, was it right? Was that not right?
No, you're close. You'll listen to every single word.
Every single word I have to say. My bad.
I win everything.
I mean, I did. That's beside the point. When we started playing a bit of a more team game where we were having more agreeances and more conversations based on... I know, we don't like that, do we? We don't like that at all. ETN, Sam got that airplane wing hanging out on the right side. That's all right. Maybe I'll...
Just doing a chat roast segment? Is that what's going on right
pretty much.
All right, chat. Time to roast everybody in the room. Give it to me. Give it to Flannel Sam.
Let's do
Give
it.
it to KG's predator-looking ass. Give it to...
Predator? Oh, hell no. Don't play me like that.
Just having fun with you.
You know what? Actually... we'll table the Red Wings for another day. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go to break right now, and we're going to come back with a mailbag. And if you just want to roast us in the chat, that is all well and good because I will read them. I will read them.
And I will flame you back. So.
And as you all should. But first, I got to tell you about Randy Wise, of course. Visit Randy Wise today. It's the Randy Wise Automotive Team's Celebrity Golf Tour. They have stops all over in the summer this year. We had one at Oakland Hills. It was absolutely phenomenal. We did shows there from Wake Up Woodward to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. We've got more to come. Randy Wise, it's the Wise Guys. Visit Randy Wise Automotive today.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
It's summertime, so that means you're probably going to be at a pool. You're probably going to go to the beach. And you know what? You're going to want to feel good when you take that shirt off. Planet Fitness can help you out with that. They got facilities everywhere. You can go in there, $10 a month. You start doing crunches. The next thing you know, you're looking like Anson doing nunchucks at Electric Forest. If you haven't seen that video, it was pretty wild. Literally. Yeah, dude's ripped, though. And he goes to Planet Fitness. $10 a month. Your fitness is essential.
Hey, all of our fitnesses are essential, but most essential for James, a.k.a. Power Neck, who is chasing a dream right now. Shout out to yourself. And you've got the Doer football camp this weekend, correct?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Starts at 9 a.m. Come on up to Baldock Park, man.
Where's it at?
It's Baldock Park, 5271 Canyon Street, Eastside Detroit.
Eastside Detroit? Nice.
Yep.
All right.
That is exciting. You're going to want to learn football from this man right here. Chuck Brewer. Hey, a little self-aggrandizing, but that's okay to me. Mailbag Sam, you don't win worst take of the show today. Stick and his Cade Ivy takes beat anything you could have rolled out.
Yeah, cool. Another moron.
Hey, it's all right. The best part is we going to see. We are absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I love about sports. Yeah. Yeah. Like we can have your opinion, my opinion. Time will tell, and then we'll be able to go back. And that's why I don't mind pulling receipts.
Jaden Ivey, the franchise, baby.
Listen, if it happens, you'll be happy, right? If that happens, let's be serious.
Yeah.
If
I'm a Pistons fan, of course I would.
Exactly.
But
so it's team over player, buddy.
Now we play a team over player.
Yes,
if it's Cade, will you be happy? Will you still support the Pistons?
Of course.
If they traded Jaden Ivey tomorrow.
If it's the right move and they could surround Cade with shooters and Jaden Ivey's going to return us maybe 2 good shooters and a first-round pick.
He won't even get you that. But
you don't think so?
Hell no. You'll be lucky to get a second for him.
No. Then that's not what. Then I'm keeping him, right?
Fair. I mean,
so I have my standard of what I want.
I understand.
So if I'm not improving the team with shooters, I like Ivey's skill set.
I get you.
And I will say this, and this is something where maybe I need to work on a little bit better. And Stick, we've actually talked about it before. Because yesterday I had a big-time meltdown on the show over the Colt Keith truthers and the Riley Green detractors. Because in my head, I can't even fathom that anybody thinks that. There's no world where that should be an opinion, but the reality is some people do.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Cade and Jaden Ivey. Like,
it's always going to be somebody with an opposite opinion.
To me, there's
but I'm not saying Ivey's better. Like, that's what this is where I don't know how to communicate this to you guys properly.
Okay.
Cade is better.
Okay. Now we get somewhere.
He will get you, and this is what I said. He will get you a bigger return.
Sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean you should trade him just because he gets you the biggest return.
But if that return improves your team, you need to make it, even though on paper it may not be something you're comfortable with. Ben Wallace and Chucky Atkins are not better than Grant Hill, right?
Yes.
But look what that trade did for the franchise.
This is a different era of basketball we're talking about.
It doesn't matter. It's the theory.
When you have a 1A or a 1B guy, you should probably hold on to that guy. It's hard enough trying to find the complement to Cade. No. But I'm just saying, when you have a guy, you got to hold on to him.
And I get that, but like I said,
it's
earlier in the show, and if you missed it, you guys could go back and rewind. If everybody's ranking 1 through 5, right?
Yeah.
You have 1 5 and the rest 2s. That team may not be as good as 5 3s, or 2 4s and 3 3s. That's what I'm saying. So it's more about the mix. So even though Cade is the 5, he is our unicorn. He's the best thing we got. But unfortunately, that's what makes him the one that has to go, because he's the only thing we're going to get back. And that's like, this isn't I hate Cade. It's I'm acknowledging Cade is the best player on the team, but he is also our best opportunity to get building pieces. So it's not a knock on Cade, guys, by saying he's got to go.
Well, if it's not a knock, why you keep bringing up that second year where he was hurt and Jaden Ivey played? Of course his stats were better. Jaden Ivey was on the floor.
Because you guys want to die on this hill that he's untouchable. And I'm telling you, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the team without him. They did just as bad as they did with him. So as much as you love his skill set and as much as you love who he is, and I don't want us to waste a number 1 overall pick when we get screwed every year in the draft. Like, I don't want that for the Pistons. I was at our draft party rooting for Cade. I had my Cade t-shirt. I want Cade to be great. But if the route we have to go is this route to get back to where we need to be as the Pistons franchise, then so be it, because I've survived Ben Wallace, my favorite player, leaving. I've survived Grant Hill being traded. Yeah. I've survived Jerry Stackhouse leaving. And those were things I didn't think would ever happen, but they did. And with the trades, the Pistons got better. Ben Wallace leaving to the Chicago for $6 million more didn't really help. Still broke my heart. Dude ended up coming back. Right it is wrong. But that's all water under the bridge at this point. Ben Wallace is still one of the greatest Pistons in my view.
Yeah.
So that's all, guys. It's not a knock on Cade. He's the best. We can get the most for him. This team needs everything. Everything. They do.
Yeah, when you put it that way, when we're not kind of trying to one-up each other, I think we can actually get somewhere, because here's another thing that I will say, and every single person in this room will agree with me, and I don't think it was Cade's fault, but you couldn't have foreseen a season in which Cade Cunningham played 60-plus games and they'd have 14 wins. Yeah. I don't think it was because of Cade. I thought they had no shooting. They had some injuries to some of their veteran pieces and all of that, but your point is that
how can you acquire those things faster?
Well, with Cade, but I think Cade is the building block. That's where we disagree.
See, Ryan's reaction, I think, is a perfect way to phrase it. Cade doesn't fit the timeline right now.
See, I disagree.
I disagree,
but
too.
that's okay.
You can make him fit the timeline. I get what you mean, though. You're not wrong.
Because I think that
Cade's gonna be successful if if you put Cade on a good team, he's gonna be like Stafford, right? Like he couldn't get it done here with the pieces around him.
Yeah.
But I think, though, that Cade would absolutely take off with better pieces around him, even if you gave him, just for sake of argument, a KCP or an OG Anunoby or even the boogeyman Tobias Harris or somebody like that. I'm just saying those type of players, I think if you put them around Cade, they're available in free agency, they have the cap space, that would expedite Cade Cunningham's growth.
Well, and to Chuck Brewer's point, as a counterpoint, Cade is the timeline. And you're right. That's what the Pistons have to make their decision right now. Are you all in on Cade Cunningham, or is this restarting and rebuilding again?
Yeah. Well, Trajan alluded to that he's going to probably hang on to Cade. So,
And honestly, he should if he wants good trade value. If you go out there and say, I want to trade this guy, people know you're for sale and they're going to give you a different.
True.
So, he's got to play the game right now. I never believe GMs on that level when they say something like that because he needs to build up Cade's value. Oh, no, he's a franchise player. I would never trade him. Oh, you want him? Okay, 4 first-round picks. Thank you.
Right. No, I guess,
I
agree.
Hey, and this has actually turned into a productive discussion.
Right?
Instead of a roasting, which it was designed to be, but that's okay. And Chuck Brewer to counteract. And I'm not gonna go too far in depth to it today because we're gonna talk about it a lot on Wake Up Woodward tomorrow. Sam, I think Riley Green is a keeper, but also that he's not an all-star. We have 2 pitchers that should be on an all-star players before him. I will just say this, and this is my prequel before tomorrow I eviscerate that argument to shreds, which I will, by the way, whether you acknowledge it or not. Look at Riley Green's numbers. Look at the company that he's keeping. Look at the lack of protection that he has around him. Don't just look at the narratives. Don't just look at this team's offense being bad. Just don't say you don't like him because he runs funny or something like that. Just look at the production. Look at the names that he's surrounded himself with in terms of OPS and on-base percentage and WAR rankings this year. We're talking about Hall of Famers. We're talking about World Series MVPs. We're talking about perennial all-stars who you would give up a limb to have on this Tigers team. My point is that we already have one of those guys, and we need to keep him and appreciate him. That's it. That's all on the Riley Green thing, but we're getting way more in-depth with it tomorrow on Wake Up Woodward, so don't you forget to tune in because me, Matt Broder, and KG, I'm sure will have a field day off for that.
Yes,
that
sir.
was Big D Energy. It's funny. It was a tale of 2 shows. A lot of fire in the first hour and a lot of productive discussion in the second hour, but that's okay. That to me sounds like a pretty good mix, I will say. But yes, for myself, Flannel Sam, for Sam Stick Day, for KG, for Korean Jesus, for James, a.k.a. Powerneck, and for Spencer Rackster, be sure to join Big D Energy tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Wake Up Woodward.
Bye. Before we say bye,
okay.
Can we just mention how funny it was when I said Predator to KG? He was thinking child molester and not the movie Predator. He's like, what do you mean Predator? He was thinking I was calling him Drake.
I'm not a 69 guy. Let's not get it fucked up.
That is
So let's just clarification at the end of the show. I meant the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Thank you.
That's a great distinction to make.
I will accept that insult.
And for the record, and this is where I got to give the chat some credit. A lot of the members of the chat knew what you were talking about.
Yeah,
they did. So,
well, they're old like me.
Hey, it's all right. You're only as old as you feel. But this was Big D Energy. Join us tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Neil and D-Mac. Well, see you later.